like getting 50,000 guys to see that.
Name I've always loved Laura. It's simple, it's pretentious.
On Ustream,
Slow. That's nice too. Yeah, if you need anything, give me a call. Bye.
Well,
It's a girl. It's
a lot of things have taken place since I've been on any broadcast talking sports that I used to with Ustream, but then good old IBM took them over, and now you really can't do anything with them anymore. So thumbs down on IBM. And last time we talked, we were talking about the Lightning. We're based in Tampa, so it's mostly going to be about Tampa franchises, and of course, we're going to talk about national, sports. But they ended up losing, and then Washington went to the Stanley Cup Finals and ended up winning their first ever Stanley Cup championship, beating the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Their inaugural season, they win the Western Conference. They got too much too early. But let's see if they will be able to keep the players that they have, especially their – I can't believe Brodeur is their goalie. He won't be there the upcoming year. He's going to be too expensive.
Maybe I should hold on to this.
And we saw the Golden State Warriors again, world champions, beating again the Cleveland Cavaliers. I can imagine what the ratings were. Probably not that great because it's, again, Golden State against Cleveland. Golden State against Cleveland. It's going to get old. Now, in Major League Baseball, the usual suspects, by the way, we're going to talk about the headlines. And as we talk about these headlines, the Yankees have been playing against the Rays the past 3 games, and the Rays have lost all 3. They're back to another losing streak after a 3-game winning streak against the Toronto Blue Jays earlier this week. For the most part, gonna pretty much count on them to lose probably the next 5 to 6 games. So it's going to get ugly for the Tampa Bay Rays. The Yankees are atop of the American League East, a half a game ahead of the Boston Red Sox. Then it's the Rays, then it's the Jays, and well, actually the Rays and Jays are tied for the 3rd spot, and of course Baltimore's down in the cellar. So basically, things have really not changed for the American League East. It's pretty much the same. Just surprisingly that the Rays are at 3rd place. All because of a few 8-game winning streaks, 6-game winning streaks. And that always does help out. It does. By the way, did you hear about the Atlanta Braves uprising? I mean, they have been playing some really good baseball lately, and along with the Dodgers, which is something that, being the defending National League champions, you would expect that. But know this. The National League may be a lot stronger than the American League, and it's starting to show. A lot of American League teams have not been too successful against the National League teams. And, of course, the Seattle Mariners right now are ahead of the defending American League champion Houston Astros, but only by a few. Then the NL Central, it's between the Brewers, Cubs, and Cardinals right now. And in the American League Central, it's pretty much anybody's game, to be honest with you. But I believe it's the Indians and the Twins are the leaders in that division. And then in the NL East, it's Atlanta and Washington, and even the Mets. The other thing that's started is the Canadian Football League. They have started, but we are a month and a half away from the beginning of NFL training camp. They're going to be getting ready for September 9th. I believe it's September 6th is the first NFL season game on Thursday night. And you're going to look at some of the players in the league unfamiliar with the teams that they're with now. For example, Jordy Nelson. He's an Oakland Raider now. Richard Sherman, Seattle Seahawks, he's now a 49er. Amendola. He was a Patriot, now he's a Dolphin. Jarvis Landry was a Dolphin, now he's a Bill. And along with I'll get back to you with that in a few minutes. But a lot of September 6th, it'll be Atlanta against the Eagles, NFC Championship rematch. And the Bucs are in New Orleans. So we're less than 3 months away. Pretty much almost 2. It's going to be something else, folks, when football season does come around. But Tyrod Taylor, he's with the Browns as well. He was with the Bills. And the Cardinals have a new head coach. The Arizona Cardinals have a new head coach who was the defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers. And something just went on. But anyways, the fact is a lot of new faces in the NFL with their new teams, including here in Tampa. The Buccaneers went and got Ryan Jensen who was released by the Baltimore Ravens. He's a center. That'll put Marpet back at right guard, where he's supposed to be. And then we drafted this giant who was signed a couple of weeks ago. And with this guy going to either the left tackle or left guard, it's going to look pretty good. And Alex Kappa is that guy. He's 6'6" and weighs 300 pounds. Some are saying 6'7", 6'6". He's going to be our new offensive lineman. And then there's this guy named Cole Boozer, who's another new one. He's 6'5", 300 pounds. And then we added some new defensive players. Vita Vita was drafted out of the University of Washington as a defensive lineman. He'll be working with McCoy, Bo Allen, and Unrein. The two new bookends, USF's Jason Pierre-Paul, and Tim Curry, who with Bo Allen was with the Philadelphia Eagles and have Super Bowl championships to their name. Then Vernon Hargreaves is going to try and, make himself better at cornerback. And Carlton Davis, who is 6'1", weighs 206. He is going to be a great addition. And Maurice Fleming is going to be another great addition in the defensive backfield. It's going to be very interesting to see how this defense does now. They got the guys they wanted, that they needed. Mitch Unwin, that's the guy's name. Anyhow, we got what we need. Just a matter of how will they do it as far as performance on the field. What they do on the field is what's going to really, really count. Ryan Smith is another one that they another one that they brought in. See how he does. But that's what they have added to that defense. And then Ronald Jones III out of USC, a running back, he may be able to, how do you say this, add another dimension to the Buccaneer offense. Now, they were having their mini camp the past week, and there were a few good plays that Deshaun Jackson, who did not participate in the mini camps last year, obviously somebody told him, you know what, maybe it's best that you show up for these practices and you might do better. I think he took that guy's, pretty much took his advice and caught a beautiful post play from Jameis Winston. It's beautiful. Now, there is this one kid who's also a safety who was drafted out of Northwestern. His name is Godwin Igwebuike. His uncle is Donald Igwebuike, the former kicker for the Buccaneers over 30 years ago. See how he does. Could he and Justin Evans be a tandem in that part of the backfield? We'll have to see. But I will say, let's see what they do. Let's see if they can do what they were brought here to do. It's just going to be a wait and see, I guess. But anyways, but then again, you're going to be talking about Alex Smith. He is now going to be the quarterback of the Washington Redskins. Again, he goes to another offense that he was very familiar with, and that is the West Coast offense, which Gruden and Andy Reid are very, very similar. So look forward to that. And then Kirk Cousins is up in Minnesota, which they also have the West Coast offense. It's going to be interesting, folks, on how the NFL is going to look this year. And a lot of things are going to be said, about this team that we have now. We'll see. But that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed listening in.
Thank you for listening to the Mattman Sports Podcast on the Ustream Network.